When you stop contacting a man, something powerful begins to happen inside his mind, something he may not have expected at all. See, most people assume men don't care much, that they can easily move on, or that silence doesn't bother them. But the reality is far more interesting. Men often carry their feelings quietly, hiding behind distractions, pride, or even pretending nothing has changed. Yet deep down, the moment your communication disappears, he feels that shift. At first, he may act tough, brushing it off as if it doesn't matter. But the absence of your messages and calls creates a space in his life, a silence he cannot ignore. And here's the curious part. Human beings are naturally wired to crave attention and connection. The very moment something we're used to is taken away, its importance suddenly grows in our minds. That's why when you stop reaching out, even unknowingly, you give him the time and space to reflect on what you truly mean to him. Fascinating, isn't it? And before we go deeper into how this silence works on his heart, take a second to subscribe to this channel. It's a small click, but it ensures you never miss insights like these. Insights that can change the way you see relationships forever. Now let's talk about silence. In today's fast-paced world, we underestimate how loud silence really is. When your good morning texts, your check-ins, or your thoughtful messages vanish, he feels the void immediately. He may scroll through old chats, stare at pictures, or replay your conversations in his head, trying to figure out why you stopped talking. This triggers curiosity, confusion, and sometimes regret. He no longer has the comfort of your presence, and the bond he once took for granted suddenly feels precious. That's the magic of silence. It can make a man realize more than 100 conversations ever could. And trust me, what I'll share in the next few minutes will surprise you even more. So make sure you've subscribed and turned on notifications, because you don't want to miss what's coming. But it doesn't stop there. This pause in communication also shakes his ego. Men often like to believe they're in control of the relationship, but when you stop contacting him, the balance shifts. Suddenly, he's not sure where he stands with you. Has she moved on? Did she lose interest? Or is she waiting for me to make the move? These questions swirl in his mind, and his pride pushes him to act differently than before. Some men grow restless, checking their phones constantly. Others replay every small detail of past conversations, overthinking everything. And here's where it gets interesting. Your silence doesn't just touch his emotions. It unsettles his entire sense of control. Curious, right? Stick around, because what happens next might reveal more than he ever told you in words. And again, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, because each new video dives even deeper into these hidden truths. At the same time, silence gives him clarity. Constant communication can make things feel routine, but once you pull away, he's forced to notice whether your absence feels heavy or light. If he values you deeply, he'll miss you more than he ever expected. If his feelings were shallow, he might try to distract himself. But even then, the ease with which you disappeared won't leave his mind. Either way, your silence is teaching him something important, whether he truly cherishes you or not. In the end, stopping contact isn't just ignoring someone. It's creating a powerful space for realization. It tests emotions, priorities, and honesty. His reaction reveals more about his true feelings than anything he could ever say. That's why understanding what happens in a man's heart during your silence is so important. It tells you exactly where you stand. And before you go, remember this. Insights like these can truly change the way you approach relationships. Don't just watch and move on. Be part of a community that learns, grows, and uncovers truths together. So, if you haven't already, subscribe right now. Turn on the notification bell and stay tuned, because the next lesson might just open your eyes in ways you never imagined. When you stop contacting a man, something happens that he won't admit out loud. At first, he'll act like it doesn't matter, like your silence hasn't touched him at all. He'll convince himself he's fine without hearing from you, telling himself he doesn't need to text you or check in, maybe even distract himself, scrolling on his phone, laughing with friends, or burying himself in work, just to avoid facing that quiet truth. He misses your presence. But no matter how much he pretends, silence has a way of creeping in. He starts glancing at his phone more often than usual. Every little notification makes his heart skip, hoping it's you. And when it isn't, that sting of disappointment is sharper than he wants to admit. This is where his pride and his emotions start to fight each other. He doesn't want to be the first one to reach out because, in his mind, that means losing control. But the longer he waits, the heavier the silence becomes. He replays old conversations in his head, wondering, did he say something wrong? Did you lose interest? And this is the moment where curiosity begins to take over. He might wander onto your social media, checking if you've been active. Did you post something new? Even the smallest thing, a photo, a quote, a song lyric, suddenly feels like it's meant for him. By the way, if this is connecting with you right now, don't forget to subscribe because I promise you, the next stages of silence will shock you even more. As days pass, the act of pretending not to care starts to fade. Now he's noticing the empty space you've left behind. He remembers how your messages used to brighten his day, how just knowing you were there brought comfort. And no matter how hard he tries to distract himself, deep down he knows those little comforts can't be replaced. That's the power of silence. It makes him feel the weight of what he took for granted. It forces him to ask questions he's been avoiding. But here's where it gets even more interesting. When the silence stretches longer than he expected, his curiosity slowly turns into a restless kind of obsession. He can't stop wondering what you're doing without him. He might not message you, but he watches, quietly, from the background. He checks your posts, your stories, the times you come online. If you share a picture where you look happy, he studies it over and over. Is that smile because of someone else? If you post something vague, like a late-night thought, he overanalyzes it, searching for hidden meaning. And if this is hitting close to home, make sure you subscribe. Because silence doesn't just change him, it reveals him. The truth is, this stage shows just how much he misses you. At first, it looks like harmless checking, but soon, it's a habit he can't break. He might casually bring up your name with mutual friends, pretending it's nothing. But deep down, it's everything. And here's the part most people don't realize. The more he observes you from afar, the more powerful your silence becomes. If you look happy without him, it stirs jealousy. If you look sad, he wonders if he's the cause. Either way, you're in his thoughts, and that's the exact place he was trying to avoid. Your silence becomes the mirror he can't look away from. It shows him how much you mattered, how much he underestimated your presence, and how hard it is to let go of something that once felt secure. That's a quiet truth about men and silence. It doesn't just make him miss you. It makes him realize who you were to him all along. And if you want to uncover the next hidden reactions men have when you pull away, hit subscribe right now, because you don't want to miss what happens next. And while he is secretly watching, analyzing, and feeling the weight of your silence, this is the moment where you need to remind yourself how important it is to keep learning about these hidden dynamics between men and women. Because the truth is, silence is more powerful than words. If you're enjoying uncovering these truths, don't just watch passively. Hit that subscribe button right now. That way, you'll never miss the upcoming insights that go even deeper into what really happens in his heart and mind. Subscribing makes sure you're always one step ahead, just like you are right now, by choosing to understand this side of him. As the silence continues, something inside him shifts. Watching from a distance is no longer enough. Suddenly, he feels the weight of your absence pressing on him. This is when he starts debating with himself. Should he reach out? Should he wait? Pride tells him to stay silent, but his emotions are screaming at him not to waste another second. He may type out a message, read it over and over, and then delete it before pressing send. Sometimes, late at night when he's at his weakest, he writes long paragraphs pouring his feelings out, only to erase them again because he doesn't want to look vulnerable. Can you see what's happening here? Your silence has created a battle inside of him. And while you're watching this unfold, pause for a second. If this is resonating with you, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Because in the next videos, we'll be unlocking even more layers of these hidden emotional shifts. And you don't want to be the one left behind while others already know the truth. As days pass, the urge only grows stronger. He begins to invent little excuses to break the silence. Maybe he'll accidentally ask a question he already knows the answer to. Maybe he'll pretend he needs your help with something simple. Or maybe he'll like your post, react to your story, or drop a light-hearted comment. Tiny signals designed to test the waters. Deep down, he knows the truth. He misses you, And that fear of losing the connection forever feels scarier than swallowing his pride. When he finally gathers the courage to send that message, it comes out disguised in simplicity. "Hey, how are you?" Or, "Just thought of you today." He acts casual, but his mind has been racing for days. This moment reveals something powerful. Your silence has forced him to confront his feelings instead of hiding behind distractions. The man who once thought he could live without your presence now feels a pull he can't resist. And if you're nodding along, if you've ever felt the shift of silence working in your favor, this is your sign. Don't just watch, subscribe right now. Stay part of this journey, because the next revelations will only make you stronger and clearer about the hidden patterns in relationships. Then comes regret. And regret is quiet, but it's heavy. He starts replaying the past, your patience, your care, your check-ins that no one else gave him. Suddenly, all the things he brushed off as ordinary now feel rare. He begins to realize that he had something special and didn't value it enough. That's when guilt creeps in, whispering reminders of how he could have done better. This stage is where many men start asking themselves hard questions. Did he push you away with his behavior? Did he fail to give back what you freely offered? The silence forces him to look in the mirror, and the reflection isn't always easy to face. Sometimes, regret drives him to change. He might start responding quicker, showing more effort, or even preparing himself to apologize in ways he never considered before. And even if he never says it out loud, you'll see it in his actions. But here's the thing. Not every man gets the chance to make things right. If you choose not to reconnect, regret stays with him like a shadow. No matter how far he goes in life, your absence will remain a quiet reminder of what he lost because he didn't appreciate it when he had it. And while you're hearing this, think about it. Don't you want to keep learning these truths that most people overlook? If so, now is the perfect time to subscribe. That way, every time a new video comes out, you'll be the first to see how silence, confidence, and self-respect truly change the way men respond. Because the truth is this: silence doesn't just test him, it reveals him. And that's a secret worth holding on to. When the silence stretches longer than he expected, something very powerful begins to happen. He starts to fear losing you completely. At first, he might have told himself, "She'll come back, she always does," or "It's not a big deal. She'll reach out eventually." But as the days pass and your phone remains silent, that comforting belief starts to crumble. Suddenly, the thought that you might actually move on without him becomes very real, and it unsettles him deeply. The man who once felt secure in your attention now feels a shadow of uncertainty creeping in, and it shakes him in ways he didn't imagine. He's no longer thinking only about today. He's imagining a future where you're gone, and that scares him. And here's where silence works its real magic. It's not about punishing him. It's about showing him the reality he didn't want to face. He may toss and turn at night, wondering if you're already happy without him. He may scroll through your pictures and feel a sting of jealousy when he sees you smiling, maybe even with other people. His mind fills in the gaps, painting pictures that may not even be true, but to him they feel real. This is why silence is so powerful. It strips away his sense of control and forces him to sit with the possibility that he might have lost you. And while you're hearing this breakdown, let me pause for a second. If you're enjoying these insights and want to keep learning how relationships really work beneath the surface, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. By subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're joining a community where we uncover truths most people never talk about. So don't miss out. Click subscribe, turn on the bell, and let's keep going. Now, what happens next is fascinating. For some men, this fear pushes them to act. This is when you suddenly get that unexpected text, that late-night call, or even him showing up because he can't take the distance anymore. Pride takes a back seat, and his actions finally reveal what his words never did. For others, the fear overwhelms them so much that instead of moving forward, they retreat into themselves. They regret the silence, but they're frozen, unsure of how to fix what's broken. Either way, your absence has made him realize something he never thought about before. Life without you feels emptier, and that realization sticks with him. But here's the key point. This stage separates real feelings from temporary ones. If his emotions are strong, the fear of losing you forces him to finally value you the way he should have from the start. He begins to see you not as someone who will always be there, but as someone whose presence is a privilege. If his feelings were shallow, he may let the fear fade and distract himself, But even then, a part of him will always remember how silence opened his eyes too late. Isn't it interesting how silence speaks louder than words? That's why, when you stop contacting a man, you set him on a journey he didn't expect, from pretending not to care, to secretly watching you, to battling his pride, to feeling regret, and finally to fearing he might lose you forever. And that last stage? That's the one that reveals everything. Does he step up and show his true feelings? Or does he let you slip away, realizing too late that he lost someone irreplaceable? And if you've stayed with me until now, it means you're truly curious about understanding these deep emotional shifts. So let's make sure you never miss out on more insights like this. Go ahead, tap that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now. Each video brings you closer to seeing the hidden patterns in relationships. And trust me, the next one could be the one that changes the way you see everything.